So this is the Synapse. It's a device that allows you to train concentrically, isometrically, and eccentrically to your max. And that's what kind of makes it special. It allows you to supermaximally, eccentrically overload that phase of movement. And that's a pretty unique property. And it also allows you to have time under tension in a way that is really difficult to achieve with conventional equipment.
It doesn't seem to be like a large setup or anything, because it's something you could stuff into a gym bag.
Yeah, it comes in a little tiny bag. It's
that bag there?
It's 2 pounds. At the end of the day, this is what it comes in. Right
What
here.
is it? What's the price?
So with the addition of, so without the force gauge, it's $350. With the force gauge, it's $515.
Got it.
And that'll provide up to 880 pounds of resistance, which is,
More than enough.
More than enough, and it also is going to calibrate. We call it custom calibrated resistance. So it's going to calibrate to your ability level. So if you and I were to come in here and work out with this regular gym equipment, it'd be kind of time consuming and a waste of time, because I'd be pulling so many plates off all the time and then putting them back on for you, right? Here, you and I could alternate immediately because it's going to calibrate to what we can do. Okay? So the difference with this piece of equipment is normally we're going to do a row to start off as an example exercise. And I'm going to put you in a deep lunge position, right? So, and I'm going to have you be, you're going to be pulling. Now, what happens with normal, any kind of exercise, on the eccentric phase, if we're doing like a cable row, we'd have to relax a little bit on the eccentric phase to let the weight go down, right? And then we pull it back up. With this, you're going to do something very different. You're going to pull the whole time. So you're pulling always. No, you're never not pulling. So even when we change directions, you're not in charge of how you're moving. I am when I'm running in partner mode. Okay? The first rep is the first 2 reps are gonna be 50% of your effort level, whatever you think that is. So you're resisting me at 50%. The last 7 reps, and they're gonna be slow reps, 5 seconds each way, okay? Is gonna be max. I want you to dig in, get your feet planted, dig in as tight as you can, and pull as hard as you can. You may find that you fatigue out in the leg. If you do, you can drop to the knee, no big deal, right? But just keep pulling, you're always pulling. Try and hold good posture and presence. You're gonna notice quite a few things, and we'll have a chat after you get done, because you may have questions, and I want you to notice a couple things if they don't become apparently obvious to you. Okay? All right? Cool. You're gonna do right. I'm gonna get you to the end of your lunge. So you're gonna get into this position right here. Are you gonna slide on this ground, do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
If I do, I'll just go barefoot.
You might, yeah. So, so you're going to start at the end of your pull, the end of your concentric phase, and you're going to dig in with those legs. You're going to need to get low because you're obviously strong. If you don't get down low, you'll just pull yourself over the top.
I see.
Okay. So you really got to stabilize with this front leg. This leg, it's really, really key for you to drive off of. You're playing tug of war with me, basically. Okay. So, get into position. Once you get into position, we'll start the.
Yeah,
that feels good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close enough.
Okay. So we're going to go 90 seconds. Turn you on. You are on.
Oh, there's the tech piece.
There's the tech piece. That's it. Yeah.
I thought it was just like a pulley.
Yeah. So this will connect. Are you ready? So 50% on the first 2 reps. You're just pulling at 50%. Are you ready?
Yep.
Start pulling. 50%. There you go. Good. Go. 50%. You're fighting me. Okay. Good.
Concentric.
Great job. Good. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. 50%.
Eccentric.
Good. When we get to the end of this next one, we're going to go as hard as you can.
I already start to feel it through my stomach.
Yep. Here we go. Good. Go.
Eccentric.
Okay, you ready? As hard as you can. Now you ready? Go. Go. Come on, pull. Come on, don't let me win, Mark. That's it. That's it. Come on, keep pulling. Keep pulling. As hard as you can. Drive with that front leg. Come on, get after it. Get after it. Come on, go. Come on, keep pulling. Keep pulling. Do not rest on the changes. You're always pulling. I'm thinking about pulling it fast, even though you're going slow. Great job, Mark. Come on, keep pulling. Keep pulling. Come on. Great job breathing. Excellent. Way to hold posture as well. Come on. Everything you got. Give me everything you got. Come on. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Come on. Come on. Let's go. 3 more. Come on. Come on. Come on. Fight. 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 That's it. That's it. Pull as hard as you can. Come on. Keep pulling as hard as you can. There he is. He found something extra. Come on. Keep pulling out. Come on. Really fight me here. Get everything out of it. There he is. Good. You got 1 more to go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. One more after this. You got it. Come on, here we go. Fight it. Fight it. Yes, come on. And all the way back now. Come on.
Concentric.
Come on, fight, fight. And stop.
Whoa.
Super job.
Whoa.
Well done.
Crazy.
Well done.
That was
Well
nuts.
done. All right,
Very
so
cool.
a couple things to notice. Well, first of all, what'd that feel like to you?
It just, I guess it felt pretty different than anything I've used before because you're just, I'm almost trying to do like isometric the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It felt like it integrated my whole body,
Yes.
which is a lot of training that I've been doing recently anyway. So engaging the glute, you know, it felt like, that feels like something that can propel me forward, which I've been working on running. So
Yep.
feels like it'd be really useful for that. And I'm way out of breath.
Yeah, so we did 90 seconds.
Yeah.
That's one set of 90 seconds, right? So you tapped on some really interesting things. One, you know, I kind of make the analogy like if you had to pull someone out of a burning car, right? That's kind of what you would do. You'd have to drive in with this leg, reach in, and pull them out. So it's like sort of real way you would use your body and generate
Right.
strength. And you find your weak links. Some people say, oh, my hammy's really grabbing on me, or my glute's really working. But it's a whole body experience and working across the chain, right? Because we did it contralaterally, right? So we had that front leg and we used your your left leg out in front and your right leg coming back. So a couple things to notice though. One, you probably lifted more on a row there than you have in a really long time because eccentrically you put up a pretty big number, right? With a single arm.
Right.
Okay. Second, I took you from 0 to max effort in 10 seconds, basically. Right? So if I asked you to come here and do the heaviest row you could on another piece of equipment, you'd say, well, I need 10, 15 minutes to warm up just to get ready to do that. Here we can safely go from 0 to 100 really, really fast because it's
probably
your
so
force
slow
production.
too, right?
It's slow, but it's your force production. So
Right.
I'm not actually putting any weight on you, right? What I'm doing is I'm controlling how far you go and how fast you go. You're putting in the force. So what typically happens is that your first reps are down here. Your first real rep where you're trying really hard goes straight up, and your second rep's usually better. And then your third, fourth, and fifth start to fall off the cliff because you're just working through those muscle fibers, right? And I could see even for you, like even as experienced as you are, I could see that after the first rep or two, you started to kind of get it. Like you started to sink in a little bit more. You started to feel how to drive and really pull even on that eccentric phase. So it's kind of counterintuitive.
Trying to figure out your body weight and your balance and everything else.
Exactly. So what we effectively did there is wore through your muscle fibers in succession. So by the end, your force production had dropped off a fair amount.
It's isometric in nature to the rest of my body,
Yep.
even though my arm is moving. So when I was done, all it felt like I wanted to do is just like go forward. Like feels like I want to go on a walk.
Okay.
Because I feel it's almost like you ever push your
Yeah,
hands in the
and then they
door,
rise up.
and then they rise up.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I feel right now. I feel like I just want to like move forward.
It felt the same way. So then the other thing to notice is, so when we do a supermaximal eccentric load, what's actually happening is you're taking the actin and myosin fibers. Basically, that's how our muscles work, right? So we have the actin and myosin, they overlap, and then they do this, and that's how we contract. That's happening thousands and thousands of times in your muscle bellies. So what's happening when we do that is they're trying to hang on, and we're literally prying them open, okay? So that's actually been shown in a lot of research to be actually more effective than stretching. So the cool thing about that is the body's adaptation over time will be that we have sarcomeres, which are these little packets of muscle fibers, right? And let's say there's 4 carts on the train in your bicep, right? If we consistently do this to that, the body's going to adapt and say, well, I'm not long enough, so I'm going to actually add another train on the cart. So now you have 5 trains on the cart. So it's actually a longer muscle belly. So you're actually changing the physiology of the actual muscle belly over time. So if you notice now, that was quite a heavy lift for you, but just move your arm around. Most people will report that they actually feel fatigued, but they actually feel quite loose,
Right.
which is unusual for lifting something heavy.
It's very rare to do a set in the gym that lasts 90
That
seconds.
lasts 90 seconds. So when you look at what you do, when we talk about time under tension, so if you look at sets that people do, generally they're in the 90 to 120 second range. So if you talk about actual time under tension, so let's say you did like a traditional 3 sets of 10, right? Each rep,
I understand.
would be around
You're taking
3
the
to 4
overall
seconds.
volume, I
So
gotcha.
you're talking about similar time under tension. We're here, you're basically doing a 1 rep max over and over and over again, but each 1 rep max is a little bit less because you're wearing out. So the idea, the 90 seconds is built on the fuel that you're using for those things. When the creatine, phosphate, and glycogen run out for your type 2B muscle fibers, they wear out. It's like your car running out of gas, so they don't fire anymore. So they're done, so they drop out, and then your next tier, those bottom 2 tiers are still working.
Can you show us maybe what some regular reps might look like just with yourself doing it?
Yeah. So if I was to do that row,
If you're just doing like a set of 10 or something.
yeah. So you could. The cool thing with this is that you could do eccentric only, for instance, right? So I could literally start here and then do an eccentric and nothing on the concentric, and then or I could do concentric only with nothing on the eccentric, or I could do both. So I'm pulling at all times. Right? And I am just wearing myself down. But what we get to do with this is if we understand that this has to go 4 times as far as this. So now, because it doesn't take much effort to pull this back, I can pull it all the way back here. And on top of that, I can actually change my body orientation. So because I've got full tension, if I change my body and slide my hips back, I can get a full range of motion. What's even cooler than that is that starts off being a limitation. But now we can start to create movements that aren't sort of traditional inline movements. So for instance, if I want to get my lat longer than this, right, I could actually rotate into this position, right? So I can be creative, and now I can say, okay, because my force production here is way higher than it would be here. But this is just going to calibrate to whatever force you're putting into it. So it just gives you kind of a world of opportunity to be really, really creative, if that makes sense.
That's cool.
Eccentric.
50%. And then at the end of this rep, you're going to fight me everything you can. Don't let me out. I'm going to pull you out, okay? Don't let me out at all. Ready? And here we go. Everything you got. Come on, dig in hard. There you go. Come on, harder. Come on, pull as hard as you can. There he is. Come on, stabilize with those legs. Come on. Good.
Eccentric.
Fight it. No rest on that end. Come on, get everything you can. Super job, Mark. Good. Get it. Good job. Come on, keep fighting.
Concentric.
Good. Pull it. Come on. There you go. Come on. Keep pulling. Keep the tension. Keep the tension between that front leg and that arm. Come on.
The stomach's giving out.
So with the idea there is that, like, in that situation when you start to feel weaker, what you can do is just ease off, right? So you can keep the time under tension, right? You could drop to the knee. There's lots of ways to scale that, right? We're going for the most efficient way to get the most out of you, right? So that would be something that we would say, okay, over time, let's just build that back up, right? So we know, like, actually from a force production standpoint versus your right side, you were able to do that.
Yeah.
Right? You're really close, actually, to your right side.
Yeah.
But from an endurance standpoint, something gave out on you, right? And that could be a compilation of the fact that you just did the other side. So when we start stacking these exercises on top of each other, metabolically, it's a huge demand. It's a huge demand, right? You did kind of 1.5 there. If we stack, 6 of those on top of each other, heart rate's jacked. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck out of a really short
I think it's
session.
great too. It's like something doesn't feel right, you just drop it.
Right.
What I mean?
Right. That's great. That's a great observation.
So nothing hurt.
Right.
But I'm like, I think if I can continue onward and go harder, I could potentially tweak something. So
yeah. And
I'm good.
So the beauty of that is you were under. Let's just take a peek at that for a sec. You were in that last rep. You were pulling at 79 pounds, right? When you said, I don't feel like this is going to work for me, right? So you dropped the weight. With the real weight in hand, you've got to tend to that, right? So from a safety standpoint, this is really great because, like, something feels off or you don't want to do it, you can stop. Just gives you that freedom to really, and that gives you even more freedom to actually push yourself a little bit because you know that you're not going to put yourself in any kind of danger. If that makes sense. We're going to get you at the end of your pull, or your push, sorry, and we're going to get you in a slight, like, staggered stance lunge, right? And you're going to press up. So I want you to generate a really big isometric contraction, right? So you're pressing up to the ceiling, and then you're just going to take this hand, and you're going to do a Y movement. So you're going to lift it up way overhead. Now, you might not get the range that you want. So if you notice, I'm slightly bent down, right? And as I come up, my body weights, my hips are going to follow the control strap. So you notice where my range comes to then, right? And then as I do that, the control strap's going down. I'm going to send my hips down while I'm still pressing up. Does that make sense? And I'm not going to make you do the brutal 90 seconds if you don't want to. Now, give me everything you got. Now, really drive with that. There you go. Good. Drive. Super. Drop the hips when you're coming down. Nope.
Oops.
Other way. You got it. That's it. Just takes a second to get it. Good. Hips come up. Good. Hips go down now. Drop the hips more. Drop the hips. There you go. Now you're getting that length in the arm. Good. Good. Hard as you can. Come on. Really drive it up hard and fast. Now fight it all the way down. Come on. Fight it. There he is. That's it. Get it. Get it. Yep. Super job.
Yeah, it takes a little second to get the coordination down.
Correct.
But it feels really good.
So you can stop and do an ISO at any moment, right? And then continue to move. Super job. Good. Good. Fight it now. Fight it. I want this arm to go all the way back behind you. Okay? Fight it. Fight it. Fight it. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. That's it. Bring that hand way behind you. Pull your hips back a little bit. Drive out of that front leg and pull your hips back. There you go. Good. 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 Excellent. Reverse it. Good. Awesome. Super.
Other side a little bit.
Like a tricep press on that side now. There you go. Good, 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 good. Now, bring it back. Great. Slide forward on that front knee. Look at him go. That's awesome. Super job. Awesome. Yeah, and you can change the cadence. You want to go faster, you go faster. Super. Go. Keep fighting it the whole way.
Holy shit. That is really incredible. It probably, like, you know, on camera, it's probably hard to really pick up what's going on, but this is just controlling everything I'm doing with this side. And you can see that this doesn't change. This isn't getting too much longer. Like, it's a little bit longer, right?
Yeah.
But not much. And so there's a lot of constant tension as I'm pulling. How does it work with can it work with like a twist?
Yeah, so
I guess.
I will have you do like a chest fly. That'll be interesting because that actually will show you how you can use use it sort of with a twisting type motion. So if you want to do this on your own, same rules, right? So this is going to be an incredible core exercise as well. So a lot of people will be like, oh, what do I do for my abs on Synapse? Like, there are things that we can do,
Yeah.
but built in, like even like I think you said it
We
earlier.
just, yeah.
On the row, you're like, dude, like my
Yeah.
stomach's giving out, right? Because
Yeah.
there's all these rotational forces because we're doing it unilaterally, right? So if I want to do like a chest fly, so one of the things I can do is I'm pressing that way, right? Now, if the rules are the control strap goes as close to the anchor as possible without being ridiculous, and I'm at the end of my concentric portion of the movement. So this is where I would be crossed like that, right? Make sense? And then so if I do the same thing, we're going to say, okay, look, the range of motion doesn't work. But again, because normally we articulate a joint around a stable body, right? So if I'm doing chest press, I stabilize my body, and I do this, right? So the joint articulates around. But because I can keep full force on this, I can flip that on its head and say, I'm going to actually articulate the body around the joint. So now, my sternum's going to follow the control strap and open up. Does that make sense? So now you can see I get good length in the pec, right? And then I'm going to reverse that, so I'm keeping full tension. If you're not digging with this leg, you're not getting full force. So you're really thinking about driving out of this leg. So you're going to integrate the whole body on that. Does that make sense?
A lot of shit going on with this one.
All right.
So here.
Yep, perfect. So start there, cross that arm all the way over though. So scoot out just a hair. There you go, good, okay. Great, right. Now start pressing this way, good. And then I want you to rotate your chest towards me as you open up. Rotate your chest towards me. Rotate open, rotate open. Super, good. Back,
Oh yeah, that's nuts.
right? Now really fight it as hard as you can. Go, come on, there he is. That's it, that's it. Rotate, oh, turn the torso, not just your neck. There you go, there you go. Super. Go. Towards me. Towards me. Excellent job. Excellent job.
Yeah, I figured out the key to the synapse. You gotta tighten your butthole. It's bearing down on everything.
Everything.
It's bearing down on everything so much. Woo! That thing's awesome, man. What can you tell people where to get it, and maybe give us some like results? Like what are people noticing? What are they seeing? You told us a little bit already.
So it depends. So there's a bunch of different demographics that are working with it, right? So it was born out of the world of professional tennis. That's where I come from. That was my history, being in the world of professional tennis, training athletes as their coach and as their fitness trainer, basically. So in that world, it's being used for strength, but also we have all these different kind of ways to sort of put people in athletic positions that are very specific and load them in ways that are valuable to them. So a lot of the times, stuff that we do in a weight room doesn't necessarily translate into a sport, and that's a challenge, right? So we can actually put people in the exact positions that they need to get stronger or learn how to move better and load them in those positions, not as much partially for strength, but almost more for motor neural learning, so they can actually understand how they want to make the move. We can take transient movements and slow them down, load them, and correct them in real time. So then from a pure strength standpoint, we have athletes that are hitting personal bests. They're not even lifting weights anymore, because we can show you with the force gauge that we have on here, the Pitch 6 force gauge. We can show you that you are empirically lifting more than you would if you would be lifting in the gym normally. So you're doing that. So if I told you that you would go into the gym and I said, okay, Mark, this week you're going to do 30% more than you did last week, you would get stronger, right? There's kind of no way around that. So what we can offer here is you're on average doing about 30% more load than you normally would in the gym. So we have people coming back with personal bests and in the gym and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is that the time factor, right? So you did a couple sets here, right? If you did the full 90 seconds, which you did, you really don't actually need to hit that muscle group again, depending on the person, between anywhere from 4 to 7 days. So from a time standpoint, 90 seconds on each side, that's 3 minutes per exercise essentially. So you want to do 5 exercises, you're talking about 20 minutes with setup and change.
Do you find that some people just kind of like leave it maybe set up and they just like
Yep.
walk past it and they're like, here's my 90 seconds, and
That's a great
they do
approach.
one side, other side, and like then
Yep.
just
Some people do 2 a
a couple
day.
days later do it again.
100%. Yeah, it's a great strategy, right? So there's the kill yourself on one day, and then there's, integrate it with what you're doing. A lot of people use it as a finisher potentially. They'll lift in the gym because they just like, they're used to that, and they want to do that. And then they'll come in and they'll be like, I want to make sure I didn't leave anything in the tank. And they'll finish with this. So for activations, we have a lot of athletes that use it to warm up. We have pitchers that'll go from just walk in the door, 3 minutes later they're throwing at max. They use it for recovery, so it's counterintuitive, but the eccentric load is actually really good at lengthening the muscle bellies. So they'll do heavy eccentric loads at the end of a throwing day for their shoulder. And we have pitchers that have come back and like, I threw 90, 100 pitches yesterday and I'm ready to throw today. They don't, because they shouldn't.
Right.
They shouldn't, but they feel good enough
right.
too. And then we have, like a bunch of active aging populations. We got a couple of trainers that are working with older populations that used to go in the gym 3 to 5 times a week, and they're just coming in once a week for about 40 minutes, and they're getting strength increases and health benefits. So from a longevity standpoint, one of the things that happens, unless you're lifting really hard, as we get older, that type 2B muscle fiber just doesn't get stimulated. You can walk. Great exercise walking, encourage everyone to do it, but you're not stimulating your type 2B muscle fibers ever. And as we get older, those are the ones that are going to help prevent falls and stuff, because those are the ones that can produce a little bit more power and stuff
Well, this
like
is
that.
also ramping up the heart rate quite a bit.
It can,
So
yes.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
It's
so you
positive.
can get a lot of the benefits out of it. So if you did 12 exercises on this, you're not feeling like you need to go do cardio after that. I mean, the way that we approach this is really that like this is. You can get creative with it and do all kinds of things for therapy and athletic performance. But if you're just doing it for pure strength, it's like you can consolidate that so that you can do that. So we have clients that are literally, they'll be like, I love that I can come in, crush this workout, and then when I go for a bike ride, I don't feel like I have to go for a workout. I can just go enjoy my bike ride, or I can go out and do the things I enjoy doing and being active. Because you should be more active, right? Like this shouldn't be the end all of everything.
Right.
You should go out and do other things and keep yourself active, because it's just good for your body. So, but this just consolidates that into time and frees up time and space, right? So that's one of the big benefits of it.
Where can people get it?
Synapse-ccr.com. That's the website. You can get it there, and there's lots of information on there. And info@synapse-ccr.com. If you got questions, reach out. Be happy to answer.
Your
anything.
Instagram?
Instagram at synapse_ccr as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for showing that. And then thanks for your time today.
No, it's awesome.
Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later.